The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.
Enrique, can you hear us, buddy?
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
All right. Hey, let me be the first to introduce all of you to Miss Natalie Dawson.
That would be Mrs.
Mrs. Natalie, I screwed it up. Let's start over. Hey guys, welcome to 10X Owners Live. Let me be the first to introduce you to Mrs. Natalie Dawson. How about that round of applause? Show me a 10X, make some noise, scream, wake the kids up. Let's just make some noise.
Praise the roof.
What a beautiful day, Brandon, as the skies opened up. Literally, it was like picture perfect this morning as what we call, by the way, I want to clarify this, the legal marriage day, not a wedding day, the legal marriage day, because before they head to Cabo, you had to what? There's some like.
Well, we realized that, you know, in all of our remarkable planning, the amount of time we'd have to stay in Cabo.
Our remarkable planning.
The amount of time we'd have to stay in Cabo to do all the official Cabo stuff, we just decided to do it here and make it legal. And now we're going to head to Cabo and enjoy it with all of our friends and family.
And there was one particular requirement that we were okay with getting our blood work done down there. And we were okay with having certain people have to be at the ceremony to make sure that it was proper. But then it came to the requirement of the entire ceremony being
In Spanish.
Oh,
I know
hola.
Spanish. I want to be able to say my vows in English.
I want to say them in Spanish. I just can't.
Well, yeah, sure. I want to say it too. So anyway, we legally got married today, but our wedding is still coming up in a couple of weeks. But today was a special day and it is official.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, you really, you know, this went from like signing a legal document to Natalie going, hey, why don't we put just like a little bit of creativity behind this? Because status quo is never enough for Natalie. If you don't know Natalie Workman, that is, or now Dawson, I should say, you have to understand that just mailing something in and doing it a certain way is not going to happen. So literally like less than 24 hours, there was cake, witnesses, smoke bombs, like champagne,
a dress, my hair was done, my makeup was done. But here's the transfer concept around that. You need to be an executor. You need to learn how to execute, how to move from, I have this idea, I'm going to take time out of the equation and I'm going to execute on the idea that I have. And as we think about the relationship that we have with the Cardones and why Cardone Ventures exists, it's because we took an idea just like you did when starting your business. You took an idea and you executed. But how can you shorten that time frame in every single thing that you do, whether that's an ad or a new product or a new service? Learn how to say, I think this might be good. And then let's figure out how to get all of the steps done as quickly as possible so that we can figure out if it's going to be the right thing.
All right. Are we going to do an opening for the show?
No,
This was the opening.
that was the opening. No,
What-
we can do
what kind
it.
of
We can do
opening
it.
are
He
you
likes
Usually
his
we
intro.
run our
He likes
10X
his
Owners Live.
This
Welcome.
is 10X Owners Live. Where's the intro, Bryce? Hit us with it.
To engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.
Nice. Now the show can begin.
Oh,
Now the
show's
show-
on.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Because we do this often and I want to just reset for a moment. How many of you, this is your first time here and you're like, as the world turns, what kind of wedding soap opera did I just show up for? Like first, Aaron, that is not your first time, Aaron. Why do you say that every time? Who has never been to Owners Live? In the chat, introduce yourself, say hi. Jason, come on, you guys are killing me tonight. Cameron's new. Let's see, lots of congratulations. Who's new? Jonathan says, hey. Okay, maybe this is like the alum. This is not my first time. Maybe this is like the alum crew. So everyone is familiar with who Brandon Dawson, the CEO of Cardone Ventures is. Now Natalie Dawson. This is gonna take me some time to get down.
Me too.
Me
Natalie
too.
Dawson.
Me
Okay,
too.
okay.
Me
So
too.
so Brandon is scaling merger acquisition expert. Natalie, an amazing, amazing operations ninja. She understands people. She understands hiring, firing, inspiring, building teams, which you're going to hear a lot about. And what I really get excited about is honestly, both of your ability, while you have separate things that you're great at and that you do, you really as a couple are inspiring to not just me, but to I know a lot of 10Xers who just are amazed at your ability to be in sync and move in the same direction so quickly. So I think we could spend some time talking about that a little bit tonight as alignment.
Well, we work with probably 60% of the businesses we work with are family businesses.
I see like
So,
on the screen,
yeah.
I see half of the screen, there's family businesses.
Family
represented.
businesses here. And so for us, it is an asset to have family in the business, and it can be a liability to have family in the business. When you can channel it into being an asset, you get a compounded incremental effect. But you got to be able to navigate the process that we use, which we learned from. In fact, you were talking about this today with Grant and Elena when we were down on the beach, that all this has happened here because of Grant and Elena's influence, and more specifically, Elena's influence on you that allowed you to introduce me and you to Grant and Elena. And I think that's the most important thing, is who you're spending your time around, who you're getting guidance from, who you're getting advice from, who you're listening to. It is very difficult. I promise you when I tell you this, it is very difficult to have a remarkable business life if you have a struggling personal life. And so firsthand, I can tell you guys this. So it's one of these things, when you can get it all working for you, it becomes a very remarkable thing.
So talk about what that means when you have, because this is maybe the third or fourth question an owner might ask me when they see you two together, or they see my wife and she's working with Elena and EXP. They're like, how are you guys so aligned? I hear over and over that, a husband, a boyfriend, a wife, a girlfriend, they're not 10X. They don't understand what I'm doing. They're scarcity. They're comfortable. They don't want to grow with me. How can that detract and how can that pull? Can you have complacency at home, but build and drive a 10X business?
I personally can tell you that's a very difficult thing to do. It's what comes between relationships, and it's not just at home. It's what happens at work too. So when you're working in different directions with different ambitions and you can't figure out where to intersync them, you're going to run into some trouble. And I think that's one of the things that when Natalie found Elena, she was like, you know what, I learned some things from Elena that we should apply, and it was unbelievably helpful for us. So the theme of tonight, just so you guys know, there's a couple things happening here. We have a huge boot camp this weekend here in Florida. The day before that, and I can't remember what day today's Tuesday. So on Thursday, we have our first construction day. In fact, I see some friendly faces that will be there.
That's right.
So we have a construction cash flow one-day business, how to create cash flow through your construction business and grow and scale it. And then we have boot camp. So we'll see somewhere around 650 to 750 people by the end of this weekend. And so for us, always pressing to the next event, it was funny because we were planning our wedding and then our honeymoon, and Natalie said, you know what, the weekend that our honeymoon ends, we should put a 360 on the back end so that we don't lose momentum in the business. So I
heard her say that.
We're literally going from our honeymoon and we're flying straight to Arizona or Miami?
Miami.
Straight to Miami, doing a 10X 360. Then I think the following weekend, we're heading down to Scottsdale and doing another 10X 360.
I think this is part of the greatest advice that Elena Cardone has ever given me, which is in order to have any partnership work, doesn't matter if it's a marital partnership or a partnership with somebody in business or even your first employer in a form as a partnership. And what you have to go into the partnership with is the commitment to create. What are you going to create with that person? And it sounds so simple, like, oh, we're going to create a business, or we're going to create a working relationship, or we're going to create X outcome or do this project together. But unless you are so committed and clear, should I talk louder?
No, he turned you up.
Okay, unless you're so committed and clear to what is the create going to look like? And how are you going to continue and continue and continue to create in the relationship that you have? So in a partnership, in a business, you might have first committed to creating a $2 million business. And then all of a sudden you're really struggling at 1.5 and you're really coming up against some break points and you don't really know how you're going to get to 2. How do you then surround yourself with somebody who's been at 10, and you and your partner can go spend time around somebody who's been at 10 so that you're committing to the create still. It's not about the create of today, it's how you're committing to it in the future that's going to pull you forward. And so when Brandon brings up these events, we're committed to helping you guys. Like, that is what we are here to do. We are not here to plan an event. We're not here to celebrate our love and to go off into the distance and like sail away on the sunset. We're here to help people. And that's what we've committed to the create of our relationship. And so how do you re-engage that create if you're in a relationship currently that's not so 10x?
Right.
But then if you're not quite in a relationship yet, or you haven't engaged with a business partner, what are you willing to commit to that you are going to create with that person? And how are you going to re-up on that commitment?
And I think what's, first of all, I want to tell everybody, if there's some audio, I remember our first 10X Owners Live in my garage when COVID hit. This is our first Tilt Up studio. Our new facility
In Miami.
in Miami, Florida is being built out. It's going to be 6 months. We have a temporary studio, and we just took possession, I believe, this week.
That's right.
Of our new facility in Scottsdale, Arizona, Cardone West. And we're very excited about that. We had our first event there, inaugural event, 2 weeks ago. So if our audio isn't perfect, we're sorry. The team's trying to dial it in and work through it. So here's the thing. We have these events, and then we have our 10X, we have our People's Essential, our Marketing Essentials, and our Finance Essential programs that right now I think it's 600 or 700 people have gone through this year.
Yep.
So to celebrate the impact that Elena's had on Natalie and us, we've decided to do a combination that we'll talk about at the end of the show.
Well,
But
we talk about it right now.
all right, well, I just want to set it up by, look, if you put yes in the chat, if you want to build a business where you have everyone on your team, your personal relationships and the people that work with you, pulling with you instead of pushing against you, put yes. It is the number one issue. If you look at why 2/3 of all businesses fail every 5 years out of 31.5 million small to mid-sized businesses, the second reason they fail are people issues. So what we decided to do to celebrate our great day, Elena, in 2 weekends, not this weekend, but next weekend, is running a 10X Ladies. And that was the first program Natalie saw where Elena taught how to work together and set your goals and priorities as a team. And I'm promising you, it changed our life. Well, what we teach is the rule of 3 in the People Essentials, how to replicate and duplicate through your people to grow and scale your business. So we're going to give you an offer at the end of the show tonight where you can participate in both programs by getting one half off. And we just want to share with you what changed our lives.
Can we get just a little bit of transparency here? Would you be transparent with us tonight? We're always transparent with you. That's one of our core values. I'd love to see in the chat. I don't need all the details, but just say me, if you have that pull in a relationship at home or at work that's in the opposite direction. If you are dealing with a partner, a loved one, a family member that isn't quite 10X, doesn't quite get and doesn't have the belief that they need to join. So see, this is the data that tells us, this is how we know that this program is going to be so important for you. It isn't just team alignment, but it's, you know, everyone in your personal network. It's the alignment of the people that are closest to you, you know, because it is, they say network, right? The people that are around you. That's, you know, and that really goes along with what Brandon talks about is, you know, when you hear something, you end up saying something or thinking something, and then that becomes the thing that happens. And so when you surround yourself, even though you have that vision, you're surrounding yourself with someone who might be a drainer, or somebody who's negative, or someone who's comfortable, that's ultimately going to affect you, which is why it's so great to be able to have this program where you can help not just your team at work, but also in your personal life with what they're offering at 10X Ladies, Elena Cardone and her team at 10X Ladies.
Well, I love Hope's comment. He's 10X and loves Brandon and Grant, and it's still tough being business partners.
Wow.
So you can still have somebody that's in alignment, but it's just, there's no getting around it. It's difficult.
Well, let me ask, what is, because like truthfully, Instagram, this is like the perfect couple, right? Like you're just like,
I don't know about that.
flying jets on the beach, in the water, like love it. Like what is the biggest challenge? Like transparency, like where do you guys find, like, and you're always aligned, like you're aligned. I see all the things all the time and I see constant alignment, but where do you think the biggest challenge
I
is?
think the biggest thing we've learned and the gift we want to share with you by coming to these two events and incorporating the business aspect and the personal aspect is how to set your goals. Because if you learn to do it with your most significant people in your life, you'll learn to do it with your employees. And I think it's applying that same equation, but doing it in a structural way that changed our lives. And then we teach how to do it in business. And when you put the two together, it's just such a powerful impact. And
And we weren't always this way. And I think that that's also the hard thing for people to see, that 3 years ago, before having the influence of Grant and Elena, like we were not as aligned as we are. Yes, we always had goals and these like aspirations. I know people on this call feel this way, where you know you're capable of more and you see people doing other things that you want to do, but you don't actually think you're able to do those things. There's social media influencers or maybe people you see on television. You're like, I love this person, but I could do that. And I see myself in them. We were the exact same way. And before we really were around people, and when I say around people, I swear to you, I was Elena Cardone's best friend before I ever met her. I had watched tens of hundreds of hours of her content on YouTube because I needed that influence in my life. So once you find somebody who has what you want, how do you get as close as possible to learning from them? And our first step was going to a growth con. We wanted to get in person. We wanted to have proximity, and we wanted our lives to change because we weren't in this alignment. So your question about what the issues are today, the issues for 5 years before that were getting on the same page and us having tension and personal and professional and financial not aligning.
And that's to answer your question, Buck. We had the opposite thing happening of what I just described. She was pursuing things that she was excited about. I was pursuing things I was excited
Separate
about.
directions.
We were kind of bumping into each other. She'd have to go somewhere. I'd have to go somewhere. I'd go out for a late night dinner because I had to see people. She would go and do her own thing. And we weren't doing things together. And in itself, not that you have to do everything together, but by not aligning and figuring out how to collaborate and do things together. Well, we started down the path where she was pursuing something very exciting. I was pursuing something very exciting. And there was this moment where we had to realize, like, when she said to me, hey, I think I might get this gig, but I'll have to live in New York for 6 months. I was like, cool, let's rent an apartment in New York. But then on my side was like,
to give something up.
I had to give something up. And I think when you can have that mindset now, recognize, I have to be back in Washington with my kids. I've got things I have to do that I can't really move around. She's free to do whatever she wants. So
but even before the opportunity, like I think it can kind of sound unrelatable to people, where it's like, oh, there was an opportunity in New York. Before I was ever confident enough to be able to have an opportunity in New York, I was insecure to where I didn't even know if I had a place at a business dinner. Like 5 years ago, that was a real consideration for me. That was something that I had anxiety about, and I didn't know if I could contribute. And I know that is how partners feel. Like you don't really know what your role is, how to define the role, how to get clear on that, how to add value and be really confident. You need two people to be confident in order to create this alignment. And so in these events, Elena is hosting 10X Ladies. The lineup of speakers is ridiculous.
in fact, yours truly, Natalie Dawson. Do you guys have her? Do you have her little announcement that went out that says Natalie Dawson? Is it done yet? Did it get done?
Did we change the name on there yet?
I don't think we need to change the name yet. It's
Did
not
it get
happening for a
changed?
couple more
We do
weeks.
have the video.
Natalie Workman will be showing up
Pop
to
it
that
up,
event.
right? Pop it up. Let's see it. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. We're going full screen. Big drum roll. Big drum.
That's
the wedding.
This was the moment.
Oh, this was the little private
Look
ceremony.
at this private moment that you're seeing from this morning. Everybody see that?
It was awesome.
Very cool. That was a cool moment.
Yeah, great, Bryce.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So goal setting is what I'm hearing is what helped.
But
both of
how you do it, look,
Okay.
it's easy. People are like, oh, I have my 10X planner, or I know how to write down goals. I'm telling you, it's in the nuances that allows things to succeed. And thinking you know how to do something and actually doing it the right way and applying it, by definition, that's working smarter, not harder, is the magic to it's how you do the goal planning. And it isn't just in your relationship. You can apply this to your employees' relationships. And I think this is the magic, is when you take and couple what we teach in business with what Elena's taught us, and she'll be talking about at 10X Ladies, and you put those two things together. Look, you don't have to be a lady to go to 10X Ladies.
No, there's
like,
tons of dudes going.
There, like, it is going to be a remarkable event. And to be able to,
Elena said, actually, if you're looking for a 10X lady, what better place
For real.
to find a 10X?
yeah, I guess if you're going to go fishing for salmon, you might as well go to a salmon stock pond.
Salmon 10X lady.
Anyway, weird.
Well, I was telling Alaska, you know, if you're going to go fishing for salmon and you go to Alaska, don't do it in the Oregon
Valley
Get some more
Gorge.
ladies on the show.
Nope. So great. So okay. So how you do the goal setting, not just the goal setting, but how you do
How
it.
you do it is everything.
What about this though? Okay, so great plan. Right now, I've seen a lot of comments. People are saying this is awesome. I need to find these goals and sync with my loved one. What about when you sit down and you go to him or her and you say, I got this great idea. I was listening to Brandon and Natalie. You should follow them on Instagram. It's amazing. And they're another
yeah.
idea. And then they go, we just got to get our goals. Let's align them. Let's figure this out. And they go, I don't want to be a part of this. What if they
Yeah,
don't even want
so
to do
that is one of the biggest issues that we have in business, is the disalignment. Is that a word?
Misalignment.
Misalignment between spouses, non-working in the business spouses or co-working spouses that have different careers
Mhm.
or different businesses. Look, this is not magic. It's very practical, but we learned how to do it. And I will tell you that it has created the single largest impact in my life.
Yeah.
And it carries over. I mean, people see you. We've been doing this show now how long? How many shows do we have?
Oh,
We have to
man.
have like
I
85
lost count
shows.
at 78, 90.
Do you know, Bryce, how many shows? I
We
mean,
should-
we've got, look, we've been doing this, we've been committed to doing 10X Owners Live I don't think we missed a single Tuesday other than Christmas and New Year's or something.
It was Christmas and election night. That was it.
Those two. So here's the thing. We've been committed to showing up no matter where we're at in the world,
That's true.
no matter what we're.
And you guys have been, so many of you have been doing All right, looks like we had a
Looks
little
like we
audio.
lost them, guys.
No
I'm sure they'll be
worries,
coming back.
Ashley and I. Ashley, while we're here, you were at the 10X Ladies, I think in the one actually recently that we had, and in GrowthCon, right?
Yeah. The 10X Ladies event that was in February of 2020 before stinking COVID hit us. And it was truly a remarkable experience. Seeing such powerful women all come together. And I mean, Adrienne Braun was there. I see her on my screen right now. She was there. It was a remarkable event. Hearing Natalie talk there, stepping into her power, that was kind of her first intro into the 10X Ladies community at a live event where she was speaking. And it was just totally transforming for business owners to see how they can align their people. And I'm excited for this 10X Ladies event. It's October 2nd and 3rd. I know that they're going to be making an offer tonight. Enrique, do you want to put our phone number in the chat? That way people can call us if they have questions on the offer tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll put it in right now.
Perfect. So it's October 2nd and 3rd is the 10X Ladies event here in Miami, Florida. And then they're talking about our People Essentials event, which is November 20th and 21st in Scottsdale, Arizona. So they'll be combining that in an offer tonight that they'll be discussing as soon as they hop back on here. But I wanted to give a little bit of exposure to that. Like they said earlier, if you are a 10X lady, even if you're not a 10X lady and you're a 10X person, we would love to have you there. So if you have questions about this event, Enrique and I can get you squared away, get you taken care of.
Oh, you
If you have a partner that could go to this event, send them. You know, if you have somebody that, you know, may not be totally aligned with where you're at in the business, but they're interested in what 10X is, this is one of the best ways to get them exposure. So I laughed because Jackie said in the chats, when are we going to have 10X men events? And I said, every event is a 10X men's event. So we need more powerful.
Hey, man.
What?
You back?
Girl.
There they
Yeah,
are.
we just wanted to see. We wanted to see how fast you guys would jump into action.
We would test.
We had a little bet going.
10x action, BD. We gotcha.
Go.
Bryce, do you have the offer that you can
Let's
put
put
up?
the offer up so you guys can see it. The QR code's there. Go ahead and shoot that QR code. If you're interested in a combo event, nice job, Bryce. If you're interested in a combo event, 10X ladies, 10X people, and you don't need to worry about when the 10X people dates. We do it every 2 months. We go East Coast, West Coast. We'll honor this offer for whenever you can schedule and get there. But we just wanted to share with you guys what's impacted us and make it available to you. And I talked to Elena and basically we wanted to make sure you guys can have the same benefit we had. So
That's right. So the two events, 10X Ladies, which is coming up in 2 weekends. Then, of course, you've got your People Essentials workshop, which is really about your team alignment. And then 10X Ladies get your relationship right. So there are two different events. I believe it's a $20,000 total value that you're going to get. You're actually going to get that for one of those events are going to be half off. Put the offer slide right back up, Bryce. You're going to get that for what are we including this for?
it's $7,500.
Yeah.
Basically for $7,500, you get both programs. So look, that's what we're talking about tonight, sharing with you guys. And we definitely, who's coming? I think, can they go to 10X Ladies? Where would they find who's coming to her event? She's got a great lineup.
Stormy Wellington's going to be there. Nicole Arbor's going to be there.
Sharon Lecter will be there. Elena Cardone will be there. I will also be speaking at this event. There is an incredible lineup of women. And then the People Essentials workshop, that is me and our HR and operations team doing a deep dive in every single thing that we have put in place in our organization in order to scale and grow in 2.5 years with 75 team members as of today and generating 40 million in revenue this year. It's the start to finish, how you hire, how you interview, how you reward, how you
For everybody that's
incentivize,
new, I mean, we had
how you
we
hire.
had how many employees 2 years ago?
Oh, God.
8 employees.
Yeah,
So we've gone from 8 to 75 in 24 months. There's a process and a system to do that. Now, remember, there's 5 steps to a remarkable engagement with having a phenomenal team. 5 steps. You got to come to People Essentials to learn all 5 of those steps, which is how to find, attract. What we're talking about here is the attractor factor. If you cannot connect with people, if you cannot then align them, because the 3rd step is how to align people with the business so they don't leave. The 4th step is how to develop people long-term so they'll stay for a long period of time and drive value in the business. And the 5th step, and maybe one of the hardest steps for business owners, is retaining great people. So for me, I married one of my greatest impacts and loves in my life, but you can't do that with every
That is
employee.
not a recommended
Best
You can't
practice.
do that with every employee. And so,
He'll try with me, but I'm not having it.
Oh,
I said,
my
take
God.
Natalie. I'm
but
not having it.
here's the deal. You got to, you did.
Thank you.
You
Natalie.
have to find a way to do all 5 of those steps. Hey, we like to have fun. Not only do we like to get to business, have a successful business, crush it in business, teach you how to generate a lot of profit so you can invest in your business.
That's right.
But we like to have fun. That's one thing we like to have.
Can we do some therapy before we leave? Can we take some questions from maybe
We
someone
can. Are you going to
struggling?
show? Were you guys going to show a couple pictures though? Let's show.
You
a
want to
couple
show more
pictures.
photos?
And then we'll move off the
I
wedding.
don't know that.
Who do you, let's ask.
Bryce
Hold
is
on.
worried about
It's
breaking
an
our stuff.
interactive program. Let's
All right.
ask. Do you want to see more photos from today's legal marriage day? Yes or no? Yes or no? Be honest. With transparency.
There's no one that's good.
Yes. No. See, listen, if you're like, I'm here to learn about business and fix my relationship, not to watch you guys frolic on the beach, just say it and we'll move on.
You know what? I was going to give 50. Someone said not really. There, we got one. Yes.
Yo, Dr. G said no.
All right, cut him off. Make his feet
Take
go
him
down.
out.
All right.
Boot him out.
All right, you
Dr.
have a couple
G's out.
pictures, Bryce?
Yeah,
Here,
let's
we're
see.
going to share a couple things with you guys.
And Brandon's going to sing while we do this. It's a beautiful
Oh,
night.
wow.
I don't know the song.
Okay, wow.
Hey, baby, I think I want to.
Okay,
I
Bryce,
haven't even seen these photos.
can you do more than one? Or is
Do you
that
have
it?
another one?
Was that it?
Yeah, one.
All right, we're good. That was it. Enjoy. Hope you guys liked it.
No, but it was there. Listen, if you don't follow Brandon M. Dawson, or did you change the Instagram?
No.
Natalie Workman on Instagram, follow them because there are going to be some highlights. We got so much amazing content. So there will slowly trickle out some amazing content. So let's go to the.
Hey, can I tell a funny story real quick though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to tell something funny.
Story? Wait,
So-
what's your story?
My glasses.
Oh,
So I wear glasses. I can't see. So Grant's like, you got to run in the ocean and dive in. So I ran out in the ocean. I dove in. I came back up on shore.
It's like you need to walk out like Aquaman.
We're all talking. I'm like, man, I can't see very well. And I realized when I dove in the ocean, my glasses came off in the ocean, and it was almost neck deep. So I'm like, okay. So I walked back out in the ocean and I dived down and I came up with my glasses on. I stepped on them on the way
This
out.
was
How
like-
funny is that?
This was like
absolutely
20
crazy.
minutes. 20 minutes later.
20 minutes later.
He goes
Crazy.
back into the ocean. And
I'm
goes
still
right
wearing
to the spot.
Right here. Anyhow, go ahead. What's your story?
No, why don't we take some
right,
audience
let's do some
participation? I'll sprinkle my story in later.
I got a story too. I
oh,
want to tell.
what's, no, you don't get story
I
time.
want to tell a story.
Come on, people
too.
are here to learn how to make money. We have a
Yeah,
bunch of
you're
guests
right.
on
You're
here.
right. All right, we got hands raised. If you have questions about relationships, if you got questions about how to get aligned, we want to answer them. So if you've never done this before, I want you to go down to reactions and raise hand. That is how we're going to call. Bryce, you pick and tell us who's coming up. Who are you going to unlock? Who are you going to unlock? Troy? All right, Troy, you're up. You're up first on 10X Owners Live.
Great. Thank you for picking me. Congratulations, you guys. Just obviously
Thank
have
you.
to put that out there. Thank you for taking the time on your wedding day to be with all of us. It's most appreciated. I think everybody would have given you guys a pass on that one, but it's awesome to see your guys.
Legal marriage day.
Well, understand, but still. So mine actually is a relationship question, and it actually, I appreciate you saying what you did, Brandon, just a few minutes ago, because that's actually my question. My girlfriend and I have a similar age gap. She is younger than I am. It's within about a couple of years of what your guys's are, and I also have a 12-year-old daughter, and we've struggled with that priority in the relationship as far as, obviously, I want to be the best dad I can be. I also want to be the best person I can be to my girlfriend. But that's a point of contention for us in that scheduling.
Yeah.
So just, anything that you could speak to as far as that would be very helpful.
Oh, I have 3 amazing daughters and 3 grandkids. It's a hard balance, because you want everyone to know how much you love them. But there's one thing I can promise you with all 3 of my kids. They'll tell you that dad's gone a lot. Dad works harder than anybody they know. And they'll equally tell you that when they need to go to dad for anything, they come to me. And I'm there for them. So I think the most important thing I can tell you is make sure that you balance with your kids, that they understand that they are one of the highest priorities you have in your life. But the thing is, if they don't see that Natalie's one of the highest priorities in my life, they won't understand the role as they get older between a husband and wife. So to me, it's important for all my kids to know that Natalie is my priority. It doesn't mean I don't love them equally or in a different way, but what's important is that my kids, I had to make this decision, and it was a tough decision, but I want my kids to never see their dad settling. I want them to see their dad striving, and I want them to know that life isn't easy, but you can always make the decision of who you want to spend your time around and who you choose to love, and then be the best version of yourself. So I'd rather my kids, and I made this decision, I'd rather my kids see me be the best version of myself. And out of fairness, I want them to see their mother be the best version of herself. And that what we weren't being that example because we weren't aligned in where we wanted to go. And so it was creating an enormous amount of hardship. So that was one of the things that was really important to me. We've been dating for years, and it was important to make sure that we were entirely aligned. And it really is in the last couple of years, even though we've been engaged, we got engaged, 3.5 years ago now?
Mhm.
We got engaged 3.5 years ago, but it was important to Natalie and it was important to me to make sure we were entirely aligned before we made the decision to actually get married. So I want,
We were just talking about
this the other night. My one piece of advice around this is you both need to recognize that you're playing a long game. It is not about the schedule today. It is about who do you want your kid to believe in 10 years from now, and what are the right decisions to make. And I made this comment to Brandon just a few days ago. I really focused on being in the long game and not allowing myself to get wrapped up emotionally in everything that was going on, because it is difficult to have an age gap and navigate the schedule and still prioritize work and developing yourself. With the sacrifices that you are likely making, put more pressure on the other partner, because all of a sudden you have to make these sacrifices mean something. And I accepted that pressure and really wanted to focus on how do I live up to this opportunity, because it is an opportunity to be with the person that you love while recognizing that they're making sacrifices in order to be with you.
and you know, the other thing I love about Natalie is that she would give me space. So when I was with my daughter, she'd be like, you guys do your thing. You know, it's not like she didn't demand my time. And she'd say, oh, these are the days you have your daughter. I'm going to do this or that, or I'll be present, but I'm going to go put my head down and do things I want to do. So that's part of this. Trust me when I tell you, the way we learned to do our goal planning together was really super important, because Natalie would pick and choose her energy on things she could go and control and do when I wanted to spend time with my daughter, instead of me having the tension of, oh, I'm trying to please two people and I want them both to know I love them. And so it is a balance. I'm not going to lie to you. It's an easy way to have a lot of guilt as a parent. But what you want to be is the best version of yourself. And I also have two older daughters. I have a 29-year-old and a 26-year-old, 3 grandkids. I can tell you there's a certain age your kids hit where you're like, oh, I want to smother them and be with them. And they're like, I want to go do my own thing. So balancing that and you know, it's you got to feel your way through it. Most importantly, let everybody know that you love how much you love them. Just smother the people you love with love, and be the best version of yourself. Does that help, Troy?
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Love you guys for sharing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Buddy. Have a great night. Absolutely. I hear you get emotional when you talk about sacrificing kids.
Well, it's the only area in my life where I feel like, you know, there's things where you look back and you're like, I wish you baiting me in to get emotional.
I know. I did hear it though. Right when you started, because I'm a dad, so I get that, and I hear you, and I'm like, it's such a hard spot.
It is, you know, it is,
So-
and the best advice I can give anybody. Look, none of us know how long we're going to be on this earth. Period. Smother the people you love with love. Don't get caught up in the stupid little shit. I mean, look, for as much time as I don't get to spend around my kids, there's plenty of people that I work with who have miserable home lives and they're with their kids all the time. I will take my kids seeing me strive to be the best version of myself and bringing them on that journey with me. And if you want to see how strong my kids are, go to my podcast, the Dawson show, and watch my role play sessions with my daughter. She's been role playing in front of hundreds of people since she was 6 years old. She is so strong. Create strength in the people you love and help them become strong and smother them. And you know, with your employees, create strength with your employees. Smother your employees with confidence. It is your number one job as a business leader to make other people's success easy. And the only way that happens is when you set targets and you help them achieve the targets. So many business owners hire people and expect them to figure it out and go take care of things versus sitting with them and teaching them how to succeed. John Maxwell talks about 21 irrefutable laws, the law of the lid, the cap. It's your job not only to constantly elevate your cap, your lid, but bring people with you on that journey and allow them to succeed with you and make some of their priorities your priorities, and watch how they take your priorities and make them their own.
Love it. Hope you guys are taking notes tonight. So many good nuggets. Bryce, who do you want to go to next?
Michael.
You're
Michael
up.
Callahan.
Man, we were just talking.
We were just talking
this
about you.
morning.
All good things, brother.
Congrats, guys. What do you, in terms of, I'm glad you just talked about the kids. How do you recommend to, if they're drifting and not on a path, what do you recommend to get them? We talked before about awareness and not being able to teach awareness. How can you get them on a path without, telling them the path?
Yeah. So, look, I'm not the perfect dad. I'm not ever going to pretend I am. I will tell you that if you go watch that podcast with my daughter, she talks about goal setting. And I think the thing is that you want to do that with your children. You want to give them the opportunity to fail forward. So many parents try to control their kids. I want my kids to fail forward because I want to know I want them to feel what it's like to be in a tough spot. And, we talk in business and we just talked about this, the 10x360. We had, I don't know, maybe it was scale. We had a couple hundred people here this weekend between two different programs. And we talked about context and contrast. You need to allow your kids to learn context and contrast. You need your employees to understand context and contrast. And the only way they do that is through experiencing things. And so when they do fail forward, be there to catch them a little bit and help them understand how they got there and love them to death. And that would be my advice, is start doing goal planning with your kids and get them excited. See, here's the thing. The human nature is, if you're not excited about what's in front of you and you're so focused on what's happening in the moment, it's easy to get caught up in the emotion of it. We talk about in business, the only emotion that belongs in business is the emotion of celebration. Why is that? Because we want to inspire people every day to remember what success looks like. You're going to do that with your kid. You should do that with your kids. We have to do it with each other. When I'm bogged down with, oh my God, my schedule and this, and I'm tired, she's like, hey, what are we pulling towards? What's the big picture? What's our quarterly goal? What's our annual goal? That's why she put a 10x360 right on the backside of our honeymoon.
Or you have to just make sure that the people around you are your biggest fans. Like I've just been on this kick very recently of just like, raise your standards of the people that you are allowing in your life, because the people around you should be your biggest fan. When Brandon is doing that whole, like, I don't want to do this, I'm like, you are going to impact so many people's lives today. Like, this is what you were built to do. And that's my talk track, because that's what he needs to hear. He doesn't need me to say, oh, you're right, you work so hard. Oh man, everything just sucks. No, he doesn't need that from me. He needs me to remind him, hey, what are we here for? You're here to create something. You're here to make an impact. And so the people around you should have that response when you're down or when you're frustrated, including your team. Your team should be pushing for you and rooting for you. This is what we talk about the People Essentials program. You have to get a team that's aligned with where you want to go, that starts in the interview, that starts on your website, that starts on your job descriptions. Then it morphs over into your onboarding process and how you're sharing with them what the opportunities look like for them to be successful in your environment. And then it moves into, okay, what does day-to-day look like? How are they held accountable? What is the real environment? And then if they're not part of that environment and they're really rooting against you, or they're just pushing back and not really being a team player, how do you get rid of them, but do it in a way that's safe for your organization? So People Essentials is where I cover
100%.
Start to finish all of that for the people side of your environment, but you can't necessarily fire your wife.
Well, so here, well, you can, but I maybe have done that. So
This is not marriage counseling. We are not professionals.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Just remember, data is everything. Gallup poll surveys 100 million workers every single year, and outside of last year, because people were just glad to get a paycheck, almost to a percentage. 2/3 out of 100 million workers are disengaged or actively disengaged. 18% of 100 million workers admit they're intentionally trying to sabotage your business. So you're not going to have a company, if you have 10 employees or 100 employees, where 90% of the people are all bought in and inspired to drive to the next level. So you might get 50 or 60%. That's why you need to have a program that develops people to a higher standard, a higher level of success. You
And
need
recognizes the ones that aren't.
and yeah, and you got to have a filtering system that removes people who are trying to drag the business down, because then the team you do have will know you're serious about your goals. And here's the thing. No one is going to believe you when you tell your employees you're serious about their goals, if they don't see you being serious about your goals.
Whoa,
Mic drop.
put that one down. Commitment. Grant talks about commitment all the time. Hey, Matt, can you put that link back up again? Matt Hendricks has the link to that YouTube with you and Sarah and goal setting.
Yeah.
Can you drop that in the chat one more time? There it is. The importance of goals and role playing with Sarah Dawson. That's a great YouTube. Click it, but don't watch it because we're not done yet. So just pause it. Click it and pause and watch it when we're done here. Bryce, who do you want to go to?
Click pause.
Click
Thanks,
pause.
guys.
Mia, come on down, Mia. How are you, Mia? Welcome to 10X Owners Live. We're going to go ahead and unmute you.
Hi.
Yeah, you.
Sorry, I can't see you good. I'm gonna put on gallery. Thank you so much for calling me. I'm so glad that Natalie's here. And hi everyone. I have a question, a people question, because we talk about this so many times. I'm merging with another firm, and instead of just having a few employees, we're having on track to get 12. Currently, we have 8. So before it was my team and her team, and we just have different people that have different loyalty towards the owner, right? And now it's like our team, and we have check-in meetings, we have team meetings, but it's still like feel like the perception is 2 different teams. So how do we create the the unity to make sure that people know that we're one instead of 2? And we're trying, like we're talking to people, we're like, no, we need to listen to her just as you listen to me. But like, what are some of the advice you guys have when it comes to making sure that we are aligned? And we just merged, 2 months ago, so it's pretty new.
The first place I would start is aligning both organizations' mission, vision, values, and figuring out how you are going to incorporate the assessment of those core values on a very regular basis. So if this hasn't been rolled out to the organization yet of like what the clear mission is and where this business is going, I would schedule a team meeting. I would do a lot of prep work in that team meeting to share what is the vision for this? Why did we do this? Why are we coming together? Where are we going? What is our target? And we are now operating under these new rules. We got new rules here in this organization, and these rules look like core values. And through those core values, we're going to ensure that we protect this culture. We're going to ensure that we grow and that this culture thrives, but it only thrives through the adherence of these core values. If you're having difficulty joining a team, maybe one of the core values can look like teamwork. Or maybe the core value can be inspiration, because all of a sudden inspiration, I can't just be inspirational to these people, but not inspirational to those people. It's my responsibility as a leader to be inspirational to everyone. So how do you raise the standards in the organization through core values, but share with the team in a unified setting? This is what we're going to be doing. This is how we're going to assess it. We are so excited for you to be here. If you're not interested though, because hey, we recognize that we're the ones who changed in this relationship, you can come to me by end of week and let me know that you're just not willing to commit to this, but this is what my commitment is to you guys. And that's where you lay out those steps.
Yeah. So I want to remind everybody of something. There's 31.5 million small to mid-sized businesses in the United States. 25 million of those businesses have 1 employee. 5.3 million of those businesses have between 2 and 12 employees. This is very important because you heard her say they went from 6 to 12. So less than 1.8%. So 600,000 of those businesses have over 12 employees. 12 employees is a break point. It's one of the strongest break points for any organization, let alone merging 2 organizations. And when you bring 2 companies together, there's always 3 points of integration: culturally, operationally, financially. You must balance the cultural aspect to what Natalie talked about, and equally, you must streamline the operational excellence of the organization so people know what you're measuring, why you're measuring it, what the intention is, what the benefit is when they win. And you do that by getting all 12 people's personal, professional, and financial goals and building that into the financial integration point. So you can't integrate 2 separate cultures, 2 separate operations, and 2 separate financial benefits and requirements. You need to put it into one system everyone's aligned with and everyone can execute to, and everyone needs to have transparency as to what the goals and objectives are.
I want to really quickly, there's a special guest that I want to say hi to tonight, but let's put the QR code up really quick, Bryce. set the appointment, scan this QR code. We're talking about team alignment, not just in the workplace, but at your home. So we've got the package tonight, 10X ladies and the people workshop. So you got Elena Cardone and Natalie Dawson. How about that? Combined, talk about a power package tonight. So scan that QR code. If you haven't scanned it yet, there it is right there on your screen, and set the appointment to take advantage of this offer. This is the only place you're going to find this package offer. $7,500 for both of these events, 10X ladies and then 10X people essentials workshop with Natalie Dawson, Elena Cardone. And what a beautiful morning we had this morning. Of course, Grant Cardone was there as a witness as well, and he's here tonight.
Oh, let's bring Uncle G on
as well. Uncle G is in the house.
Hey, everybody. Brandon, Natalie, just really enjoyed being with you this morning. And so happy to see you guys commit and grow your lives and become who you're becoming. And it's just awesome to see. And for everybody else here, like, it's a real pleasure for Elaine and I to watch people grow and change and become all that they can be and actualize their affirmations. And that's what I've been doing for. I woke up the Monday. I was like, man, I can't believe what I'm doing. Like, I'm finally doing what I said I was going to do. And it took a lot of years to finally put it together. A lot of discouragement, disappointment. I've been through a lot of people to get there, a lot of partnerships that are still there and some that aren't. So for all of you out there, that if you're going through discouragement, and disappointment, and whatever you're going through right now, don't quit. Stay close to us, stay connected to us. And I promise you, you're gonna get there faster with a team like Natalie was talking about. You're gonna get there faster having like-minded people around you. You know, most people are not thinking about what you're thinking about tonight. Most people, what you guys went over tonight that you may be hearing about for the second or third time, most people are not going to hear about this in their entire lifetime. So congratulations to everybody here that's hearing this. And the more times you can hear it, the more certain you become of it. So Brandon, just really, Elaine and I had a blast showing up at your deal this morning.
It's great having you guys. You know, it's just, it was an impromptu because we just needed to do it and clear out all the obligations of trying to figure out how to do it in Mexico. But the strength of being surrounded by the right people who are willing to jump in and participate with you. It was a beautiful moment this morning. And of course, our partnership with you guys has been life-changing in itself. And the example you set for us, we're just really appreciative of that. And I think everyone that comes up on this show, I would just encourage you to keep, like Grant said, keep going deeper into the relationship, because at the end of the day, that's really what any of this is going to be about. The quality of the relationships and how deep you can go assisting and helping each other push to the next level.
Hey, Natalie might have planned today.
Yeah, and just Brandon, I was reminded this morning, and I think everybody here can relate to being at somebody's wedding and it like literally making you feel better about your own relationship. You know, being around that whatever that thing is, right? And it's just the important. Success is contagious. Commitment is contagious. Examples are contagious. And you guys, 10x 360. 10x 360 means you're going to 10x every area of your life. And it's just an amazing group of people that are joining every Tuesday night here. Some of you, I recognize your faces. You've been in our classroom, in our offices, at our growth conference, at 360s. And I just look forward to getting to know all of you better. Keep investing in yourselves. And keep, no matter how many disappointments you go through, keep believing in people. You will find the right people. And it's an interesting phenomenon that nobody ever asked me. Like, I don't think I've ever been asked in 20 years of questions. Nobody's ever said, how many people you've been through, man? See, you guys just see the people that are there now. And so, and everybody has this phenomenon. The Rock, Oprah. They've all been through people. And the thing you don't want to do is you don't want to just settle on whatever you have. You want to keep striving to get the right people around you. And that's not to say that you should get rid of the people that are in your lives now. Just keep looking for the right people. And that other thing will take care of itself. They'll either come aboard or they won't. So that's what Natalie's talking about, the 12 people. Brandon was talking about the 12 people, getting those core values aligned. And if your organization's got 1,000 people in it one day, hey, maybe, I don't know, what percentage you think would get aligned, Brandon, would be a great number.
Yeah, well, I talked about Gallup poll. You know, the top most aligned people out of 100 million workers is about 28%. So at 1,000 people, you'd be lucky, you know, to have 280 to 500 that were really on the bus.
And that means for me, it's like when I realized, you know, when you're small, when you're like 2 or 3 people or just one, and you're hiring vendors, no vendor is ever going to do the work for you the way you want it done. Very, very rarely are you going to ever see somebody that you pay once or twice do phenomenal work for you. Would you guys agree with that?
100%.
You know, because they're going to go into the next job. The problem with completing your job is they got to go get another job because they need more money. And so, you know, if 1 out of 10 times you find a great vendor to do something for you, that's amazing. Most of the time it's a disappointment. Same thing with people around you. It doesn't mean you shouldn't grow though, right? Because you'd still rather have, I think Amazon's got 1.5 million employees. I think they hired 100,000 people this week.
Wow.
And Walmart has double that. So you got to know that they have some inefficiencies, but that did not keep them from growing and scaling. Okay. But you're never going to have a small Walmart's. You know, you cannot have that kind of success and be small at the same time. So again, we want to just help you. We do, you know, I pop into a lot of these with you guys. I'm coming because I want to just continue to encourage you to grow, man, to grow, to stretch yourselves. Many times stretching yourselves in the beginning is just about stretching your time and your money commitments. And you don't know where it's going to go. I can't tell you how many times I've spent money I didn't have, borrowed money I didn't want to pay back, and invest time, particularly the time. Invested time in events and experiences that I knew going in had a 99% fail rate. It was the 1%, the possibility that maybe 1% of the time I might get something out of it. It was still 1%. A 1% possibility was still 1,000 times bigger than if I didn't show up. So, and I know it's hard to keep showing up, guys. I know that. That's why when Brandon and Natalie and Buck and the team, when you guys come to Miami, it's so exciting to see you here, because that thing that we got going on gets even stronger as you close the target, the distance between you and the examples you want to be more like. So thank you guys for being great.
Thanks, G. Appreciate you, buddy.
See you, buddy. Appreciate you. Hey, so what were the notes you took away from tonight? I'd love to see. There were so many good nuggets. This was one of the owner's lives.
Every day.
Yeah, there we go. Showing up every day. What else did you guys take away tonight? This was such a unique experience. You got a little bit of personal, a little bit of business, relationships at work, relationships at home. Get aligned with your partners, alignment. What else did you get? Alignment of relationships, commitment. Oh, now there's a lot. You have to slow us down.
Gap.
Close
Staying
the
in
gap.
10X
That's right.
ecosystem. Love that, Patrick.
Keep pushing, stay involved.
Success is commitment. That's right. If home life is not okay, oh man, it's going too fast. Bryce, you'll have to slow us down on the chat over here. They're moving to, you guys got so many great notes tonight. That's all. There you go. Smother your employees with confidence. That was a great one, Brandon.
Hey, you know what? You walk into the sales team at Cardone's, you're not going to see people sitting around questioning if they can succeed. You got a leaders board. You know what you need to do. You know that there's winners. You just got to be as committed. Did we freeze? Nope. So, show your team how to win and you'll get higher qualified employees. It looks like it froze.
No, it's
Good
good.
on their end.
Go over
All
goals,
right.
giving confidence to your team. Cash is trash. Thank you, Brandon and Natalie. We really do appreciate the commitment to you coming every single Tuesday night to 10X Owners Live. We're going to throw the QR code up one last time. I really want you guys to scan that QR code, and that QR code is going to set your own individual appointment with one of our leaders so that you can experience those two events to help alignment at home and help alignment in the workplace. You've got 10X Ladies with Elena Cardone, and then you've got Natalie Dawson, who's going to be helping you with your people at work with the People Essentials Workshop. Both of those, you're going to get both for $7,500, and you can set and reserve your seat in both of those events tonight and tonight only. So scan that QR code. Is the QR code still up?
Yeah, and they can
Awesome.
hear us. They can hear us. So hey, listen, our event will be in 6 or 8 weeks. Elena's event will be in a week and a half.
Just show up.
if
Just
you need-
commit.
I'm just going to tell you, for all of you that are on here tonight, if you need a 2-pay system, tell the team when you talk to them. What's most important is you get with us. We build a relationship. We work together in the community, and
Close
we
the distance.
close the distance.
That's it. That was it.
Close the distance.
Time and money, close the distance. Hey guys, thanks again. We'll turn it over to Ashley and Enrique.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Bye,
wonderful week.
guys.
The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.